Does it work or does it explode? Here we go. Alright, and I'll need to clean this fan as well. It's pretty dusty. Not super bad, but just needs to be given a clean. My super blower. The X3 Hurricane, one of the best buys. I've had the previous version, but this one's even better. But yeah, you are looking around a couple $100, but it is rechargeable and way better than canned air. So if you do a lot of computers, this is the way to go. All right, we'll screw this in the right way around so that the air actually gets removed from the case rather than pushed into it. Let's get one screw in to hold it in place. And then we'll screw up the rest. You don't see DVD drives very often anymore. Alright, so now the ceiling fan is in a location that will actually work. I'm just going to get this fan out as well and give it a clean because it's looking quite dusty. When you buy a service from me, I'll actually give it a service. Not just tell you that I did it and then charge you for it, which is what I swear some mechanics do. Just tell you they did something and then charge you for it. They didn't actually do anything. Thankfully I found a good mechanic that doesn't do that. But I have had bad ones. Whenever you're cleaning out a fan, don't let the fan blade spin because it generates electricity. Especially if it's still hooked up to your motherboard, and it can be quite damaging. Alright, we'll put that back in place. That's looking better. So, what we'll do now is we'll get some MX6 on the CPU. Alright, that's good enough. Had a little bit of trouble getting it to spread because I think the previous stuff made the surface not as sticky as it usually would be. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is we'll get I'm just going to stand this up. Because I want to get the power supply prepped. Alright, we got all the power cords on. Because this power supply doesn't have a built-in 12-volt high power connection, we're using the special Cablemod one that comes with the 12-volt high power one end, and it goes to 3 PCI Express power connections onto the power supply. And I thought, oh, actually, I hope he's got enough of those, but yeah, he does. It's got like 8 connections to PCI Express, so this power supply is pretty high end and designed for that sort of stuff. Alright. So hopefully these will work like Cablemod claims they do, because normally you don't use any other cable except what comes with your power supply, so I'm still nervous, which is why I'm testing just the motherboard first, because I didn't buy these cables, the customer did, so if the customer chose the wrong ones, it could still go boom. hopefully, I did double check it myself and had a look and tried to confirm that he did get the right ones, and it does seem like he did get the right one, but I'm just erring on the side of caution. So the brand of power supply he's got is a Seasonic. I'm actually a big fan of Seasonics. They're good quality. And I think Seasonic actually makes power supplies for other brands. So they're kind of like the guys that are supplying the other guys. So they know what they're doing. Alright, we got to get this 8-pin in. Much easier to do without that huge heat sink in the way. 8-pin power is in. These new cables are not exactly long. It's going to be interesting to try and route them neatly, but I think I can go like that. That'll probably work. Keep it neat. Alright, we need to do the 24-pin next. Looks like this is the best one. These Cablemod cables actually come with a nice cable combs to keep all the cables looking neat and pretty. So make sure we slide those along, and so the cables look nice on the side that we're really going to see. Yeah, that looks good. Nice and neat. So we got that one. I think I'll just do a power test like this. I've got to get the heatsink on first. So I'm going to lie it down again. So I'll pop the Noctua heatsink in. So as I said earlier, we need to screw this down evenly. I'm just going to go to like a level 3. That should be plenty. We don't need to go crazy. So just get it to bite onto the beginning of the screw. Yeah, and then sometimes I even back off the first one, and then just go back and forth evenly so that it went down fairly even. Then that way you get the good contact. So Noctua coolers generally come with 2 fans. The big ones come with 2 fans, and it usually has a Y cable that connects them together so that you can plug it into the one CPU fan. And I've noticed whoever built this didn't do that. They've just hooked it up to the 2 fan headers. Like, that's fine, I guess, but it would have been better if you did it correctly. So we'll just get these clips on. That should be enough to test this actually. Just need one fan to know that the fan's working, and we'll connect the power and make sure it turns on without exploding. So I might just do that now. Alright, so we got the power. Hook it up. I saw a little light. I hope that wasn't a spark. And it was just RGB or something, because, yeah. Anyway. I'm kind of stupid. I just realised I disconnected all the power buttons.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb.
Okay, I don't know when it happened, but my camera stopped recording at some point during my whole putting the CPU in and making sure it all worked. So yeah, I just plugged it all in to power and turned it on, and it came up on the screen and all working fine without installing the graphics card, so I'm now confident that Cablemod cables are safe and working as described. So there you go. If you happen to need more cables for your power supply, your modular power supply, if you buy the correct ones, you make sure you check it on the compatibility list on their site. You can actually get Cablemod cables to replace them, and they're safe to use. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is just get this upright, and we'll finish doing the front cabling where the graphics card's going to get in the way. We'll get that done first, and then we'll go to the other side and do all the what was the rat's nest. We're going to turn it into something neater. Alright, so I'm going to now get the camera down and then change positioning, and we'll continue on.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Alright, we got it back down, and so I'll start running the cables. I'll start with the USB 3, and that connects down here, so I'll come in behind this cable here. And then we'll do the Type C. There's Type C here. There we go, that looks pretty good. That Type C connection gets awfully close to where the bid card goes through. So what Gigabyte has tried to do with the front panel connectors is make it a little bit easier. So they've put a little block thing that you click your separate front panel connectors into, so it turns it into a block for you. So that's actually not a bad little feature, but it is a little bit finicky. The cables feel a little bit loose. So I guess they tried to make it a little bit easier, but it's kind of okay, but not that great. Now just going to run the HD audio. Comes up under here. Alright, that's in. So I think that's the front panel. So these are done. I've just got to put the other fan on for the CPU. They've got a lot of fan connectors down the bottom here. Alright, we'll get the other Noctua fan on. So this fan, because it's directly above the RAM, is not going to sit flush. So it's got a rest on it. But looks like, yeah, this is going to be the best way to put it so your cable doesn't get in the way and look ugly. Alright, so you can see it sits up, but that's because it can't go any lower because the RAM module is in the way. And then we'll just hook up its fan to the CPU optional fan, since we don't have the wire cable that would have come with it. And now you can see we've got two nice neat fan cables down the back there instead of one coming off here and just looking ugly. I think that's it now for the front.
Nope.
Also have a SATA cable going to the DVD drive, so let's bring that in. It's about the only place you can use a right angle. That's in. So I've run into a little problem. The SATA power cable that I installed from Cablemod isn't quite long enough to get up here, I don't think. But I'm going to spin it around to see if I can untangle it a little bit and see if I can get a bit more length. This thing weighs so much. So yeah, I use that shorter cable to power this hub and to run this first hard drive here. And then we'll use the longer one that's got like 3 or 4 connections on it to run this and the DVD drive, because it's going to be able to reach it. And it might look like chaos, but in the end it'll be all quite neat. I'm just making sure cables don't interfere with other cables. So I'll just run this one to the DVD right now, make sure it's got connected, and then we'll see where it lands. That's in. Oh yeah, that'll work great. Go right on that. Just pull this off and put it underneath. Cool. So we now have the SATAs connected. So this is the fan hub up top. So we'll just make sure we have one on fan 1, otherwise these things don't work. So fan 1, fan 2, and there should be a fan coming from the front chassis. I'll run it in behind all these and make it fan 3. Sweet. So the only cable outstanding is the 12-volt high power, and I'll run that through under here. So the Cablemod cables come with nice cable combs as well. That's helpful. Makes it look neat. Alright, so it's time to lay the computer down again, and we'll put the video card back in. Because yeah, I'm not going to try and do it vertically. Yeah, I just want to show you this too, actually. So this particular video card came with a bracket that then mounts to the motherboard. So just that's the way it stops it anti-sagging. So I've actually got to take this off before I put it in, because otherwise you can't get this screw in. So I'll take that off and then yeah, I'll put it in.
A few moments later.
Alright, so now I've finished doing the cabling and the graphics card on the side that you see, and yeah, it's come up quite good with the cable combs and everything, so fairly neat. So when it looks in there, it's going to be quite nice. So we're going to flip it to the other side now and neaten up the other side, which was the side that looked really bad when it came in. Alright, it's time to fix this all up, and it's all in more organized than it was before, which is good. So then I can just line it all up and make it really neat. So get my zip ties and my side cutters, and we'll get stuck into it. There we go. I've finished the back side of this, and yeah, that looks a lot neater than it was in the when it first came in. And so we're probably good to put the side panel back on, and then we'll fully test this to make sure it's all working good. We'll investigate this black screen issue and see if it's resolved from putting the better quality power cord on it, because I've got a feeling that's what it was. But we'll find out for sure. So I'll move this over to the testing area and we'll check this computer over. Alright, see you soon.
15 minutes later.
Alright, so I'll tell you what, this case is so heavy. It's one of these ones that has this soundproofing material on the insides of it, so it's meant to be one of these silent cases, but man, it makes them freaking heavy. So I'm getting a full-on workout moving this thing around to do all the cabling and stuff. But I've got it on the bench. I've got it hooked up to my test KVM, and we're just going to hook up the power. So moment of truth. Alright, does it work or does it explode? Here we go. It works! Just joking, it didn't explode, and I'm getting a picture over on the computer screen over there. You can't see it unfortunately, but I'm just watching it now, and we'll see if it goes into Windows. But it appears the Cablemod cables are all good and safe, and I see a login. Excellent. So oh, we got audio in even. Beautiful. So I'll switch the camera to look at the screen, and then we'll start trying to get this thing to do the black screen issue that he was talking about. And hopefully it doesn't happen, which means the problem's resolved, and it was just purely that dodgy power, 12 volt high power adapter he was using. Wasn't giving enough juice to his 4070 Ti Super. Right, I'll be back.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just going to go through now and just update drivers, make sure everything's up to date, make sure the BIOS versions are up to date, including the new SSD. And Gigabyte often release BIOSes for their graphics cards as well. So I might just double check that he's running the latest on his 4070 Ti Super. And once that's all done, I'm going to run a bench test on this, and we'll see how well it goes and whether any weird things happen. And if it keeps passing everything, I'd be pretty confident we're all good. But anything's possible. Sometimes these faults can be very intermittent and won't show for me, so he may experience it later on, but hopefully not. Hopefully what we've done today will resolve everything. It's a heck of a lot neater, that's for sure, and a lot better quality. That's interesting. We just lost the picture. Ah, okay. So he's got it set to go to the lock screen after a few minutes. It's throwing me off. I don't like it. Alright, so I'll come back to you once I've done all the servicing sort of drivers and all that, and then we'll do some benchmarks. Alright, so currently doing a stress test on the CPU, and with the Noctua, big Noctua air cooler, it's sitting around 76 degrees under full load, and it's still pretty quiet. So yeah, pretty impressive for the Noctua. Like I've always said, they do work quite well. It's just they make the case a bit cramped, and yeah, you just have to be aware of that and when you decide to get them, but they do work quite good. So yeah, this is looking stable for CPU temps.